Hey, welcome guys. It's good to see everyone. Guess what? You'll never guess. Look at that. More snow. Can you believe that? More snow. Yep. Oh, and then look at, we already had a animal decide they were gonna walk through, and then we had a bird, and we got a lot more snow all over. Terrific. Just absolutely terrific. I'm just so excited about it. Yeah, just great times. I always go outside to do my videos because it's kind of crazy when I get home. Plus, I can't really do much with videos inside because I got other things going on. This is kind of a nice quiet night. Here, let me show you this. I don't know if you can see it. There's the neighbor's house. You see the snow coming down? Yeah. We're running through. And then you go over here. You see all that? You can faintly make out that light in the distance. Yeah, this is like snow and cloud and everything else. And then there's our vehicles over there. And speaking of vehicles, we're going to be getting the van back. Pretty excited about that tomorrow. The end of the day went pretty decent. Got all the stuff done that I needed to and a little bit extra. Got it all set and ready to go so the guy in the morning can put it away. Turned in all the stuff, plugged in everything, got everything charging. You know, I did everything I could do today. I didn't get done right at 6. I knew I was going to be a little later. And got the work done, though. That's the important thing. I got everything done that I possibly could. Got batteries plugged in, vehicles charging that need to be charged. Got my mom to work on time. About 5-6 minutes to spare. Got back to pick up my daughter in plenty of time. She wasn't sitting there waiting. Picked up Daniel. He's going to be dropping him off in the morning. So, and starting my day out again. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Starting a new day. Today was the 22nd, so 23rd. I've seen a lot of wildlife running around tonight. Like over there, there's looks like a bunny. So the bunnies are out. A couple neighbors' cats. I don't know if it's actually their cats or if they're wild cats, but they're out and about running around. Man, that snow though. That snow is just wow. Yeah, you can see the bunny tracks right up there in the distance. Yeah, you can see them pretty good. So, it's amazing. And this time of night, it's kind of quiet. There's not a lot going on, which is nice. I like quiet, believe it or not. You can hear dogs in the distance. I can hear people's voices in the distance. I see. Here's some vehicles. The noises at night. During the day, you don't pay attention to a lot of it because you got everything's going on. Yeah, I hear dogs barking way over there. It's like sound carries more at night than it does during the day. And it's funny, it really doesn't. It just seems like that. Because your mind's busy on other things. It's hard to get quiet to hear it. You just got all that, your eyes seeing all these different things, and so your mind's going 90 miles an hour on everything else around you, and it's at night you don't have too much to focus in on. Vision's kind of clouded out because you can only see so far. Yeah, you can hear the vehicle on the other street. It's like a street over, see? Yeah, did you guys see it drive by? Yeah, on the other street there was a vehicle driving by. I could hear him at the end of the block. It's crazy. Yeah, you can hear the snow crunching underneath your feet. Man, it was a long day today. I knew it was going to be. I told you guys that yesterday. I guess to bring you up to speed, you'll notice there's some videos that I released. They're old videos back in September, and it was kind of cloudy that day too. It was a bad day for me. In the video, the one that's 13 seconds, I was so choked up during it. Our guinea pig had died this past year. September, I want to say 11th, but I think it was the 17th. I think it was September 17th. Our guinea pig died that morning. And I did everything I could for the guinea pig. I really did. Squeakers was our guinea pig's name. Meant the world to our family. He was just an amazing guinea pig. Every guinea pig's unique, kind of like a dog in that, they're all unique. Their own personalities and things like that. And I thought, hey, we'd buy Rosie, which is the guinea pig we get now, and have Squeakers and Rosie mate once. Well, it didn't work out that way. Squeakers was a very large guinea pig, and he didn't get a lot of exercise. And if a guinea pig doesn't get out and do a lot of exercise and everything else, they get overweight. And when they get overweight, like people, they get diseases and things like that. And, my wife thinks maybe he came down with like guinea pig form of diabetes because of his being inactive and being overweight. And yeah, it was a tough time to watch something so helpless like a guinea pig that can't literally fend for itself. At one point in time they used to, but have been domesticated. So, we fed him, gave him water, took him out once in a while to play with him, but he didn't really have an area to run, and it seemed like my wife and I were the only ones that really paid a lot of attention to him. Once in a while, my oldest son or my oldest daughter would pay a little attention to him, but for the most part, it was just Cindy and I. And he stopped eating, stopped drinking water. We took him to the vet, and he was dead within 48 hours. Literally died in the morning. The one video that's 13 seconds, I had started to record something about, him passing away, and I had gotten all choked up, and I just, I couldn't go on. I just couldn't say anything. I loved him. He was great. I mean, he's one of the few guinea pigs that I I know of that you could literally just put your hands out. You'd climb up in there, and then you could, lay down, and he'd curl up around you, and then like either chew on your hair, or he'd be, trying to nuzzle up next to you, like around your neck, and like throw the hair over the top of him. It's kind of comical. Um, One time I took my coat off, and he actually climbed inside the sleeve and sat there. And I was like, Squeakers, you gonna come out? Squeakers, are you gonna come out? And he comes crawling out the end of the sleeve, looks at me, and then he backs back inside. And then you can see he grabbed the sleeve and he pulls it down over his head, like no, I'm not coming out. And so I went in, you know, from where you put the coat on. I went in, with the arm of the sleeve there, and it's kind of mean, but I grabbed his foot. It kind of touched his foot, and all of a sudden he jumps right out the end of the sleeve, um, and turns around and he looks right at me. And he wasn't. He knew who did. It's like he knew exactly who did it. Turned around and looked right at me. And then he came running at me, and I thought, oh my gosh, what's he going to do? And then he stops. He comes running at me, and then he stops. Yeah. Squeakers was one of a kind. And it really tore me up when we lost him. And shortly thereafter, a couple friends of mine had lost their pet. And then Dan TDM lost his pug. And, it was towards the end of 2017. A lot of people I knew, their animals were passing away. And I knew exactly what they were going through, because I've been through this before. But, anytime you lose an animal or you lose someone close to you, it feels like a part of you dies at that time. And it hurts. It literally is. It's like a heartbreaking type thing. And it bugs you. There's really no getting over it. I mean, here it is almost a year later, and talking about it still brings tears to my eyes. But there's a lesson to be learned. There's like in everything in life, there's always a lesson to be learned. Never take anything or anyone for granted. Try to make the most out of every situation. Life really is short, not just in animals, but in people too. You just don't know. So you're thankful. You try to be helpful. You try to be understanding. But in the end, you know what? It's the end. So what's to learn? What is there to learn from it? I mean, do you think you're gonna go through life just keeping people away from you and not letting anybody get close to you because you're afraid you're gonna lose them? Which some people do. They do. And loss is never easy. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. Even with the words I'm going to share with you, loss is never easy. But I'm going to share this with you real quick. If you really do love something or someone, and you hold them close to your heart, even after they're gone, they still are with you. They're still part of you. My suggestion is to spend as much time as humanly possible with the person while they're here. That's how you show somebody you love about them. It's not always going to be a good, nice, pleasant thing, okay? It's not always going to be happy and rosy and cheerful, and you're going to have your conflicts. You're going to have your issues when it comes to people, especially, but sometimes with animals too. But it's the time you share and the way you spend it that's most valuable in life. Okay. comes back to the importance of trying to do what you can each and every day, making the most out of each and every day. Pushing through, you're being tired, or you don't really feel like doing whatever, you do it anyway because it's the best thing, the right thing to do. And right thing does not always mean the easiest thing. I'll let you know that now. Sometimes the right thing is probably the hardest thing to do. Because if it was so easy to do the right thing, everybody would be doing it. You know what I mean? They really would be. But they don't. Like driving the speed limit. That's the right thing to do. The sign says speed limit. Yellow means what? Proceed with caution. Okay. Yellow also means that it's going to turn red. So what should you be doing now? Slow down. Prepare to come to a stop. Green means go. Red means stop. Stop sign means to stop, to come to a complete stop. Okay, these are just driving things, okay? And how many times do we go, if it says 30, we go 32 or 34 or 35. Technically, it says speed limit, okay? 30 is the limit. That's where your limit's at, If police officers wanted to be jerks, they could bust you at 31, okay? Or 32, because the speed limit is the speed limit. If you even go through on a yellow light and it turns red while you're in the intersection, technically they can give you a ticket because you saw the light was yellow, you had time to stop, and you didn't stop, you went through it. They could bust you for going on a red light, not turning on your turning signal when changing lanes, called an illegal lane change. Not turning on your turning signal when turning. I mean, there's all different kinds of things when it comes to driving that if police officers wanted to be jerks about it, they really could, but they don't. Like coming to a rolling stop instead of coming to a complete stop. Not yielding when you have a yield sign to oncoming traffic. How many of us see somebody coming and we're like, just step on the gas and go right on through the intersection? A lot of people do it. It's like, I'll beat them to the intersection. It doesn't matter. I see it all the time, Technically, you're not even supposed to be talking on your phone while driving. Your hands are supposed to be on the wheel of the vehicle. So if you're holding anything in your hand while you're driving, it's technically called distracted driving. Whether it's a can of pop, a burger, or a taco, or, both hands are supposed to be on the wheel, And how many times do we don't do that? I don't always do that. I don't always have. In fact, sometimes I'll drive with one hand on the wheel and one hand holding a cup of coffee, or a can of pop or some juice or something, It's so amazing, distracted driving. Technically, for those of you that smoke cigarettes, if you light up a cigarette, technically while you're driving, it's distracted driving. It has nothing to do with just texting. They're making such a big deal about the texting and driving where, you shouldn't even be reading messages, texting, looking at YouTube, or anything while you're driving. You're supposed to be driving. You're supposed to have your complete undivided attention. How many times do we mess with the radio while we're driving? It's distracted driving. I mean, you want to be legit, they could bust you for anything if they really wanted to, because if it's not following the letter of the law, I honestly believe in life there are certain areas of gray, certain areas where it's borderline, where you could either be real legalistic or you could show a little compassion. And to be honest with you, I think majority of the time our law enforcement picks to try to show a little compassion. I don't think they're out to get people. Trust me, they could be, but they don't. Because they're people too, you know. And I think a lot of them realize that, you know, if you're compliant or if you're trying to follow the rules, I think they're pretty forgiving. They're not a-holes like a lot of people think, especially in South Dakota up here. I've had run-in with the police, and they've been really nice to me. I like them. They have a hard job to do. They really do, to uphold the law, to protect and serve. Protect us and just, you know, serve the law, you know. So, I mean, it's a thankless job. They don't get thanked for it. I mean, how many times does somebody go up to them and say, "Hey, by the way, officer, thank you for patrolling the streets and keeping us safe. Thank you, officer. The other day, I really appreciate it. You showed up and I was having car trouble. Um, Officer, I'd like to thank you for the time you put in every day." You know, people don't walk up and thank them. I mean, it's amazing. But you see in the headlines in the news on how horrible our law enforcement is, or you hear about a gunfight and somebody shot. You know, it's like these people got tough jobs. They really do, and they're not. A lot of them really aren't appreciated, and they should be. They save lives. They save more lives than they're given credit for. And I'm not a big fan of the police force. Don't get me wrong. But I do respect the job they do. It's not an easy job. You know, it really isn't. It's not like they go, today I think I'll go bust some people for speeding. You do got a few of them, I'm sure, that are a-holes. But I think they're a-holes because they're a-holes anyway. You know, I don't think it's the badge that gave them the excuse to be an a-hole. I think they were an a-hole to start with. Um, you know, it takes all kinds in the world to make it go round. And yeah, time well spent. Being thankful. Number one thing, being thankful. Appreciate those around you. Those that mean a lot to you. Those that do a lot for you. Those that provide encouragement and strength. You know, sometimes all you need is an ear. Someone to listen to. Or someone to listen to you. One of the two. I don't have a lot today. Other than they went pretty decent. Had some areas of opportunities, obstacles to overcome. Got a late start to the day, and I thought the day was going to go horrible, but it didn't. It came out pretty good. Talked to some more people where I used to work at, and they're content where they're at for the time being. And I said, well, you know, if things get bad, you know where I'm at. Let me know. Go fill out an application. Show you're interested in, you know, whatever, and I'll see what I can do to make sure you get in there. So, but, yeah, it's a fun day. It's been exciting. And not necessarily new. Well, I love you guys. You guys are the best. Try to stay warm if you're in an area that's cold. And if you're in an area that's warm, try to just keep it cool. I love you guys. God bless you, and have a great day. Enjoy 23. This is 22. Yeah, I think it's 22. Bye.